says.
Yes, very true.
What transpired with Mr. Perry Gladstone Christie relative to political and electoral process was embarrassing. To me, it is still embarrassing that a seated prime minister will lose his seat in the manner in which he did. Cause his own party to lose in the manner in which it did.
What are you spelling out now?
I am saying the ball has been rolling from way back then, way before 2017, okay? When the iterations of gatekeepers and others were being formed and birthed, that was seeded long time. Trust me, that was planted and seeded long time. The fruition of it ain't come yet. So even with us not being a violent person,
yes, I see your point. I see your point.
All the things will culminate, will come together, and it seems to be happening during these election
So these
cycles.
guys should be very afraid.
They better. That's what
They should be very afraid.
All these chocolate hoodlums.
They should be very afraid.
Miss Roy, I tried talking soft to them.
Yeah, I got you.
You see? Because guess what? I may be the type, I might be the Gideon guy. There's some who are the Joshuas and others who speak to it in particular manners.
I got you.
But the message of it remains the same.
It is. And Mark is dead on, you know. And see, Stephen,
It's going to happen.
Here's what I believe they calculate. Mark called it arrogance. I believe they know the time for this is so near that their only objective is, buddy, get what you can get.
That's exactly what I've been told today from the precincts of the House of Assembly.
Because when
I was told that today, you know.
When you see
That you only got 5 years. All you got is 5 years now. Grab what you can grab.
I am so believing that that's what's been said, is being said. But let me say something to them. The more you get, the more you will lose. You jackleg hoodlums who are sitting in our parliament and other places of leadership, we know who you are. And let me tell you, you may not be revealed to all of the people, but those who know.
You'll be revealed to some.
The more you get, yeah, go ahead. You'll take what you'll want. Just as the Bible says, the wealth of the wicked
will be stored up for the righteous.
For the righteous, the people of God and the people of this country who call on the name of God will see the fruition of your wealth that you stole. There was a person who used to come on the same microphone and talk about plundering and raping and pillaging. Now he's even singing a different motorboat tone. We tired all of y'all. We fed up and we are on God's side and we believe and we know that when the change comes, all y'all gonna hang your head in shame.
6:26 is the time right now on the show. And of course, we have to, you know, it gets a little hot in here because sometimes it is just that we see things in a different way and we are more radical about what we see. And, you know, our people are just not really ready. That's what the problem really is. If we were really ready, we would then take this country by storm, you know. We would. We have to do something with what is happening. There are too many things as the tale of the tapes. You see everything, we're losing everything. Pay attention. We're losing everything. We don't even own immigration. We're losing every single thing that we can. Oh boy, I'm telling you. And so people need to know. If we're losing everything, it's only a matter of time before the tape runs out. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The tape is running out. Now, we've got 1,000 callers on the telephone line, and I'm going to go straight to them right now because we don't have much time. 6:27 is the time. Let's go to the callers today. Hard Copy, how you doing? Hard Copy, how are you? Sorry.
How you doing?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm awesome. And I'm saying, no, I'm calling to register officially my vote relative to this O-ban. No, Steve, 9 years ago, don't forget, and good evening, gentlemen, my older brothers in studio. 9 years ago, in respect to the BP, Deepwater Horizon cost, as of last year, 2018, yes. It is estimated to $65 billion, Steve. $65 billion is the cost for what they said it's going to take generations to find out the real lasting effect. Now, I give them credit, I give BP credit that they were able to process more than 99% of about 390,000 claims and hope to settle several hundred remaining cases in the coming months. And I'm saying that was as of the 16th of January 2018. And I'm saying to the Prime Minister and his cabinet, the Bahamian individuals, the Bahamian talk shows, the Bahamian radio stations, yes, everyone, Steve, must register with great contempt, because the people in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and I thank them for all the ships would come into Nassau every day. But how many go into Freeport? How many people? And in fact, Steve, you tell me stay focused, and I hope I'm staying focused as it relates to your show today. You see, we cannot afford, we have an $8 billion or whatever the debt is now. Let's say we make $12 billion a year, and that's $65 billion. We have to pay that. It would take us 5 years, and we would still, in 5 years' time, we would still owe over $5.4 billion. And we are already in debt. This is our country. We have to send a strong message.
I hear what you're saying.
Now, Steve, don't go yet. 30 seconds more. Yes, we must march, but this is what you must choose, Bahamas. Choose a foundation, a show to voice your opinion, and then you go online. That show and the leaders of that show will create the web page so the world can feel what you're saying when you call the show. So when you say what day you're going to march, the world know you ain't playing.
I got you. I hear you. Good idea. Hard copy, how are you? No one is on that line. Hard copy, how are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. McKinney.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, yes. My little 2 cents in this. Mr. McKinney, it looks, everyone I speak to, but we're truly saying the last 20 plus years or so, the government of Bahamas have done absolutely on little for the average Bahamian. That's both sides. Every time we rally up, you get leaders who step forward, and it's like the black rap syndrome. Everybody, like, with the people's movement, they had a good momentum wave coming. Everybody, for some reason, don't agree. All of us are not going to agree on every single issue. We need to get together, swallow our egos and our pride, get together and come together for the common good, to save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
You still calling for the people's movement?
Yeah, the people's movement is something that's supposed to happen. You know?
That's part of what he was saying.
That is what's supposed to happen.
What Store's saying. Store's saying that actually opened the country to the place where it may not have been.
It brought about honesty. It brought about real things. It generated a real hope for the people. But you know, something happened. But go ahead, sir.
We guys, and I know you said it numerous times, we have to come together for one accord. The Bahamian people of this country. Let's not let the small things that divide us, our belief, stop us from coming together to save this country. And every time someone like Mr. Rigby did, they get violed. And people seeing that, hey, every time someone say they for us, they gone. Crack man gone. Beginning, it's hard to say, we need more Bahamians like you. Point blank. Nobody.
I scared of me, man.
People in this country.
I scared of me.
Country willing to fight and die with a country like you do. And that's the problem. Everybody has their own ideology. And okay, I believe it's A and B, but I don't believe it's C and D. Okay, fine. Let's find a way to work together. Put those egos aside. Mr. Boswick, Mr. Pinder, Mr. Moss, Mr. Kelvin Cunningham, gentlemen, put these stuff aside. And realize that if you guys will put it aside,
you included in this now.
Come together as one, We lost.
You are included in this, right?
Good point.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney.
I appreciate your point. Listen, you know, somehow I get a feeling that these people are ready for some kind of revolution. That's what I'm getting. And they've been pushed in this particular direction because of the people who have been manhandling them and not giving them anything. That's what is happening, you know. So the people are being now pushed in a particular direction, and it's not a good picture.
Yeah.
But, you know, some things have to happen because the country needs relief. This country of God's people needs relief. And for some reason...
And this F&M government is doing more to push the people in that area. The PLP had to go, and everybody understands that. Mm-hmm. But this government is shifting this country in a policy...
And without any direction, we don't even know what they're going to do the next day.
That is fundamentally dangerous for this country, to the place where we may not very well know it the next 5 years if we continue in this direction.
Hard copy, how you doing?
Hey, Steve, what's going on?
All is well.
Yes, Adam here.
Adam.
Your guest.
Yes. Adam.
Hey, Steve, sadly it seems that for us, a lot of us in this country have been mindlessly sailing on the sea of complacency. It's kind of like what William Butler Yeats said, the best lack all conviction while the worst are filled with passionate intensity. Or like God said, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. Here's the thing. A lot of these things are going on, and most people don't talk about it. And even those who do, nobody bothers to fight. Nobody bothers to fight for the country, even the government, and not just in this particular case, in so many other cases. I know Leslie probably disagree with me, but just the other, like about a month or so ago, when they announced that the government caved in to the number bosses, and then in the same news broadcast, they outlined that the number of people who are suffering from gaming addiction is actually on the rise, and it's an emerging problem. So the whole debate about whether or not new people or people who weren't doing it before, that they're not going to start doing it, that's already been squashed. So this is a rising problem, and yet still, everybody else, when the government raised VAT and when the government raised taxes, every business had to pay. But there were one set of businesses that felt that they were above the law, and instead of the government just taking it to the mat and fighting for the people, based on principle, no matter how long it dragged on, the government capitulated and basically just kind of rolled over and just took it. This is the same thing what's happening right now with this Oban thing. How could you have, here's the thing, the real question, what I think some of you guys are talking about is this: did the government know about all of these things? Did the government, in fact, know that the son-in-law of the same guy who did this whole bunch of
We gave them the research months ago, right here on this show. We gave them that research.
So if the government knew it and then they still did it anyway,
that's what I'm saying.
But the government feel like people be so brazen to do it. Did the media?
Adam, this ain't about us. I mean, that's part of what we've been saying.
How many people in the media have really been pushing this? Because before today, I mean, I know you mentioned it before, but on a lot of the other news broadcasts and other editorials and other shows and stuff like that, I don't really hear much of a debate. I don't have. I'm pretty sure if you were to go and survey most Bahamians probably do not know what you guys were just talking about. So the question again is this: why is that? Why is that?
We're disconnected.
Adam, part of the reality, and we've got to face it, the challenge with our country goes beyond just politicians. Part of the reality is that we are so divided that even some of our media outlets turn an eye, it depends on which government is in power. That's part of the reality. Mm-hmm. All right?
That's what I'm getting at.
There really ought not to be any reason why, for example, beyond Brave Davis and those who are calling for resignation of two cabinet ministers, there should be no reason why every media outlet, in the spirit of accountability, in the spirit of what is right, who should have very well be silent on the question of whether or not cabinet ministers ought to resign. These things are fundamental to our structure of government.
We're not checking.
So I mean, hard copy ain't just find itself having to deal with all of these stuff, but it shouldn't have to be so. If you have a media,
that's right,
who understand that they have responsibility beyond what their political positions may be.
But we don't have.
And unfortunately, that's not the case.
This is what I've been saying for. I mean, Steve, you know how many times I've called the show and I've made this exact point over and over and over again. We had a case, and here's the thing, Steve, and coming right back to it, but here's the thing. About a month or so ago when they released, or maybe a little bit more than that, when they released the crime statistics, right? The number of rapes and stuff went up, they said like 6%. It went up from 52 to a whopping, get this, 55. Not that an increase of 3 whole rapes over the entire country, not accounting for an increase in the population of the country, but an increase of 3 people. 3 people. And the media went ballistic over it, and all the cameras and the microphone being shoved in this one face, that one face, be the man to know why the 6% raise. But nobody's spoken up, but the fact that there was a huge decrease from like 147 to like 113 or something in the number of murders and all these other things is like crickets. There are a lot of things. While I don't agree with a number of things the government does, when certain things do good, when they do certain things right, the media has to call it fair and square. When we don't have that, we do not have freedom. And here's the thing: when our elected officials flew into Brussels a few months back, towards the end of last year, and they went on with this immigration pact that they went along with, which pushes towards opening borders and also censoring the media in terms of how the media is allowed to refer to illegal immigrants and which then paves the road for changing illegal immigrant status and the privileges that the countries have to now afford them. When our government went ahead and did this, I have not seen yet to this same flicking day a single media outlet to talk about that, and that is huge. There are things when it's about certain liberal agendas, the media goes bonkers. When it's actual things that actually affect us, crickets.
So we have to throw the media in this whole package as well. That's what we've got to find a way to get us all together to be on the same page, to speak with one voice, and we have to do it with even the media.
See, the Prime Minister himself, I think, one of his first speeches, credited the media for the role it played in the last election. The media was critical in the last election, went beyond just allowing a person to speak, but amplified the degree to which the PLP was dangerous and to be a corrupt party.
Because it was in his favor at the time.
Was amplified.
But now he pushes the microphone away. You see? Now,
but listen, before I forget this point, let me just say this. If you've been noticing the Prime Minister in recent times, he has asserted himself quite well. Follow me now. Since the time that Ace Newbull moved off the scene, was sent to ZNS for a 30-minute infomercial program. That's what the news spokesperson said, you know. Erica, well, she said he went to ZNS to do an infomercial for 30 minutes, once a week. A man who was in charge of the press has been now thrown under the wagon and is now doing a 30-minute program. But I say that to say this. It seems that the Prime Minister is in green. He seems to be in green because the Prime Minister has been asserting himself. He's speaking on every issue. He's in front of cameras. He's doing things. I mean, you know, I'm like, hey, look out, man, Mr. Prime Minister. You look good. So I'm saying the Prime Minister has done some things, and it is because this young man by the name of Anthony Newbull has been chucked aside, put out there. No. I'm telling you. The Prime Minister has been asserting himself. You watch it. You watch what is happening.
And rightfully so, Steve. Rightfully so. And you are too.
I know what can happen to that.
See, you know, you're
I mean, the Bahamian people didn't vote him in to be the official voice.
Of course. I agree with Mr. McGinney saying, you know, he is asserting himself and all of that. But that ain't nothing new from Mr. Menace. When he was in opposition, he had his iterations of this.
I see.
When he was challenged by Loretta, I go in as leader, I come in out as leader. We see some these things from Dr. Menace before. Can they be sustained? I want you to know this. Dr. Menace got in not because of the reverberations of Dr. Menace. That is a fact. That is a reality. The FNM won not under the total auspices of Hubert Alexander Minnis. If we want to be real, we would state that. Their victory at the polls in 2017 was not orchestrated and manifested particularly because of Hubert Alexander Minnis. You hear my words. You see how I said it, right? Hubert Alexander Minnis. Now, you could coin that, fix that, put it together how you will. So, seeing Dr. Minnis now become a little more assertive,
yes,
and
very
tying
assertive.
it in with the tangent of a great journalist like Mr. Anthony H. Newborn being now off the scene, doesn't make me jump with no glee. We've seen this before. If you want me to jump with glee relative to media and stuff with Dr. Minnis' hands on it, let me see him fix BIS. That's all I must say.
But you all have to appreciate, from the time the Progressive Party won the government in 1967, they were always held to higher standard because the press was always against the Progressive Party, and they still are today. And that's why the FNM could get away with most things that they'd have killed us on. The old ban, they'd have been slaughtered. You know that. All of you know that. They wouldn't have let it burn up for one day. Had it been two ministers who did what was done, they would have had to resign. They would have been forced to resign by the press. But it's not the press anymore, because that's what they want. They have come together as one, the Tribune and the Guardian, for one purpose, to make sure
the FNM stay in power.
Exactly.
Anyway, hard copy, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Yes, sir, all is well.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Miller, Roll, Mr. Storr, and whoever else is in the studio.
Hey, Anton.
I was listening, not so long now, but I saw a couple of reports, right? That I heard what Mr. Miller said, which is quite right. And so I want to piggyback off of some of the information one or two of the callers put out there, which I found to be, it caused me to scratch my head and wonder what I was listening to. As a matter of fact, when you look at what happened with the new board, a career journalist, who was the press secretary, right? And you look at the new appointment of the